Over the course of a lifetime, a graduate earns on average over £100,000 more than someone who doesn't go to university. Isn't it right that those graduates' contributions to the system should reflect the advantages that they've enjoyed? We have no choice. We need change. We need to put the funding of our universities on a sustainable footing, and it's right that when it comes to doing this, successful graduates should pay their share.
Students in Britain are feeling let down by the government. They feel that it's becoming harder and harder to study in full-time education and support themselves financially. These were the scenes of the protest that took place at the end of last year, after amendments to the student finance system were announced. As of September 2016, grants are to be scrapped and a new regulation will be put into place. Studying at university was free in England up until 1998 when the fees were introduced. Since then, the fees have almost tripled, and new plans will leave many low-income students facing difficulties with living costs.
Thousands of students have clashed with police at Westminster today during a mass demonstration against plans to increase university tuition fees in England.
In the last UK election in 2010, many students voted for the Liberal Democrat Party. They had promised to axe tuition fees, making university free altogether. But they then went back on their word.
We weren't absolutely sure we could deliver. I shouldn't have committed to a policy that was so expensive when there was no money around.
Many students have argued that their voice isn't being heard and they are ill-represented in the political debate. I went to London College of Communication to speak to some of the undergraduates to find out exactly what their opinions are.
I think it's a disgrace. I don't understand how students are meant to carry on and enjoy education when things like money get in the way and it becomes a complete struggle.
Is it bad that I'm actually not, I don't think it's that terrible a thing. Getting rid of grants isn't that bad because they are actually upping the maintenance loan that they're going to give people. And they're going to base it when they're going to...
Since then, fees have almost tripled, and now the new plans will leave many lower income students facing difficulties with living costs.
I did get this year a tuition fee loan, which is a bless. But yeah, the grant, I don't get this, and I actually have to get money from my grandparents for my rent, which I'm really grateful for that.
I'm lucky enough to have good support from my friends and family, and financially I have support from my parents. But if I didn't, I don't think I'd be able to go to university without the student loan and extra money that my parents give me.
They're going to up the higher barrier to which they can give people. So for example, for my situation, my parents together, they both work full time, so they just make above the mark, so I get no benefits, but they can't afford to give me any money, so I have to work full time.
I think grants should be applicable to how people learn and if they need it or not. I mean, obviously financially with the parents, but sometimes people will get grants and their parents will actually have enough money, and it's a bit of an add-on.
So no one needs £11,000. You can still get £9 grand. No one needs £11,000 for a year of uni.
There should be maybe a unit or a subject that teaches you about taxes and government spending and just general finances, so that we can understand where the money is being spent and how to spend our money.
No, I've got a lot of friends who get grants and stuff, and it's such a shame that they've scrapped it with really not a care in the world about what they're jeopardising people's futures, and it's just making, especially coming to London, a lot harder for people to just get into education and actually be able to fund it.